Hi, everybody. Just wanted to say I'm sorry to Iran. On behalf of all of America, I want to say I'm sorry to Iran and the people of Iran and the people all over the whole world being terrorized by Trump. This tyrant does not represent us. Okay, just so you know, if you couldn't tell by all the protests in the streets and all the protests online, what I call the pillow revolution, the part we can do from bed, Trump does not represent America. He does not represent Americans. He might represent Trump-Putiners, or he's managed to make Trump-Putiners his clones or um, his mimics, his parrots. What's the word? Parrots. They parrot his stuff. But he doesn't really represent even who they really would be if he could break them out of his spell. But he certainly doesn't represent any Americans. And the fact that he has the control over American weaponry and all this stuff is unfortunate and largely our fault. I mean, there is some question about it, but well, no, there's a lot of question about it. I think the question should be raised higher and louder when we saw that only about 2,000 people showed up at his birthday parade, and like 5, 10, 15 million people showed up around the country to protest him. But he doesn't represent America, so I'm sorry, Iran. I'm sorry to everyone for Trump terrorizing everybody all the time. And we will remove him. Hopefully, we'll remove him sooner than later. We should have removed him a week ago. We had the perfect cause to remove Trump. It's like he gave us a softball by calling Biden a robot. We could have just pulled out the 25th Amendment at that time and removed him. And they wouldn't have had to been removing him because he called Biden a robot, although that's a good reason. They could have removed him for all his, tariff terrorism and all his ICE terrorism and all his other terrorism and kidnapping and stuff. They could have removed him for all. They could have had the motivation to remove him for all sorts of reasons, but just used the excuse of calling Biden a robot to remove him a week ago. If they'd removed him a month ago or 2 months ago, we'd still have Pope Francis. If they'd removed him a week ago, we wouldn't be at war with Iran. So, removing him now, who knows what he's going to do, next week if we don't remove him now. So, removing him now is the key. Hopefully, YouTube will find some people that actually want to remove Trump from my life. The cat is approaching, so the cat always gets viewers. So, hello. Say hello, Shadow. Anyway, so removing Trump is the key. We're only going to be live for about 7 more minutes. But removing Trump is the key. As I was saying, if we removed him last week, we wouldn't be at war with Iran. We could have maybe avoided World War III or whatever this turns into. If we'd removed him last week, if we'd removed him 2 months ago, we'd still have Pope Francis. If we'd removed him, as soon as he got into office, if we'd put him in jail before he took office, like we'd all pretty much expected Biden to do in the first place, we wouldn't have gone through any of this stuff. Now, maybe we needed to learn a big lesson, and we need to, expose how bad it is to fix it or something like that. But it doesn't need to get any worse, does it? I think starting the war with Iran should be the last straw, and we should remove Trump and basically formally apologize as a country to Iran. Like, personally, I'm saying, I'm sorry, Iran. So sorry, Iran. He does not represent us. Trump doesn't represent any Americans. He only represents Trump-Putiners who are all traitors to America. He basically just represents Russia. So while I am hoping, very hopeful that YouTube's putting actual anti-Trump people in my live, they don't usually do that. So with 8, 10, 12 people here, I would like to ask you, whose side are you on? Putin and Trump's? Or Putin and Netanyahu's? Or Putin and Iran's? Because it's all the same side. Like, it's really painfully, genocidally obvious. And it's just them against us. In fact, I think Iran might be the only real other victim here. I mean, we're the victims of Trump, but I'm saying out of Trump, Putin, and Netanyahu and Iran, they're all on the same side, and Iran might be the only victim in the whole gang, the whole club, who's kind of getting beat on, um, although they're successfully attacking Israel as well. We're not really reporting on that, but they are doing that. And I recently heard from Midas Touch, who I assume was pretty trustworthy. I think they just posted about 12, 20 minutes ago, that Trump is begging China to talk to Iran for him, try to smooth things over. Like it's like they both fell into a trap. I mean, of course, Putin traps people like this, but Putin plays both sides of all conflicts, so he's doing that. Putin, played both sides of the Hamas Israel war, because Putin, everybody says Putin supports Iran, supports Hamas or whatever, but also it's really painfully obvious that Putin runs Netanyahu. So he's doing both sides of that. Then he's doing, Trump. Putin controls Trump and Netanyahu, and they're both in league together. Like, Netanyahu did all his stuff to get Trump elected. I mean, and to do the genocide. He did that for his personal genocidal reasons, but it just so happened that the genocide really worked well for getting Trump elected. So Trump and Netanyahu are hand in hand, and they'll claim that, they're not trying to act like they're not buddy-buddy. And really, Trump and Putin really don't act like they're not buddy-buddy either. I don't really know how Putin and Netanyahu act. But again, they're all obviously friends and supposedly, or, in league together. They're all the same clan. And supposedly Iran is, working for Putin too. Again, I think Iran might be the innocent victim in all this, but not innocent, because they aren't doing right by their people. But that's up to the people to overthrow them. And if anything, we should have supported, if we wanted to change the regime in Iran, we should have supported the nonviolent, peaceful women life freedom protest. We supported it, the people supported it, but our media, our government, our establishment didn't support it. So that's why we got to do it from bed. We got to do it from home. I call it the Pillow Revolution. And thanks for joining if you're ready to overthrow Trump and Netanyahu and Putin. Shouldn't be that hard, actually. There's lots of mechanisms for overthrowing or removing Trump right now, but we just have to do it. It's not like I'm expecting the 4 people that YouTube has currently decided to, without any comments, add, and scared one of them away just now by pointing it out. 3 people left in the live who aren't, I don't know, functional or whatever enough to leave any comments or have any type of interaction, to be the ones who are like going to save the world. But I will be posting this live, and it'll be live. It'll be available for anybody to see and comment on in about 10 minutes. So, if someone's comments were to engage and, I don't know, help in some way, that'd be great, but not necessary. I mean, it's for people in the future as well. But removing Trump, removing Netanyahu, removing Putin, and whatever with Iran, just apologizing to Iran for now, because either they're all part of the plan and, they know what's going on. Yeah, he's not really bombing us and whatever else, but we're going to retaliate. It's just going to be our excuse to retaliate and start a war or whatever. Maybe they're in on it. Maybe they're kind of victims of it. But Netanyahu and Putin and Trump are all in on it. So again, if you're not bold enough to make the bold statement that you also want to remove Netanyahu or Trump or Putin and support the live in any sort of way like that, I'm going to presume that the 5, 7 of you, however many of you are in here, are all Trump-Putineers. You're all for Trump. You're all for this war. I'm going to presume that you all are. And that's why I want to ask you, whose side are you on in the war? Are you on Putin and Iran's side? Are you on Putin and Trump's side? Or are you on Putin and Netanyahu's side? Because it's all the same side. You're dipshits. Okay, what's this person say? Somebody finally left a comment. Let's see what they say. Kashmiri. That's a cool name. What do you say, Kashmiri? Trump and Netanyahu are both jokers of circus. Yeah, well, jokers. I don't know. That sounds kind of flattering. They're both puppets of Putin. Putin runs both of them. I'm only live for about, unless somebody speaks up, I'm only going to be live for about 30 more seconds. So yeah, but whose side are you on? If you're for this war, are you on Putin and Iran's side, or are you on Putin and Trump's side? Or are you on Putin and Netanyahu's side? It's all the same side. Tell me whose side you're on. There's 10 of you in here. So you're either bots, scared, oblivious. I don't know. Maybe you don't speak English. You're watching this for some other reason. But yeah, so if you can support this war in any way, tell me whose side you're on. Putin and Iran, Putin and Trump, or Putin and Netanyahu? Whose side? Relax what, derpy goose? Your name is Derpy Goose. I'm laying in bed. Why are you telling me to relax? I'm asking you a simple question. Whose side are you on in the Trump-Iran war? Trump and Putin, Iran and Putin, or Netanyahu and Putin? Just tell me real quick. Whose side are you on? This is the Pillar Revolution. Welcome to the Anti-Trump Live. I'm not going to be live much longer. I think I'm going to shut it down because I can't get any like humans in here. All I get are these Trumpy trolls and bots. Not saying specifically in this live, but in most of my lives I get Trumpy troll and bots. Well, see, there you go. There goes a Trumpy troll bot. So whose side are you on? Are you on Trump and Putin's side? Are you on Iran and Putin's side? Or are you on Netanyahu and Putin's side? I just need one person to answer the question. You're all obviously Trump Putineers. So what side are you on? Are you on Trump and Putin's side? Are you on Netanyahu and Putin's side? Or are you on Iran and Putin's side? Whose side in this war? Whose side are you on? Tell me one of those. If you're not very intelligent, you can type T, N, or I, and we'll know that Putin's involved in all three of them. But which one? Are you on Trump and Putin's side? Are you on Trump and Iran's side? Are you on Trump and Netanyahu's side? Iran and Trump's side, exactly. So you're on Trump and Iran and Putin and Netanyahu's side. You're basically against America. That's all you're saying is you hate America. You're against America. You're with Trump against America. You're with Putin against America. And you're with Iran against America. Right? I know you're not going to say anything against Putin. If you could possibly say anything against Putin, now would be the time to do it. But let's get Derpy Goose's info for the knitting. Derpy Goose channel activity joined 9 years ago. It has 21 subscribers. Spelled Derpy Goose, DERPYGOOSE. They're on Trump and Iran side. So anyway, they're just against America. So prove my point. Thanks for proving my point. You guys are all trolls. Hope you never come back.